know for sure who's gonna win.
All right, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is it. The Star Ladder, Star League, Star Series, all that stuff, all the stars.
That's a lot of stars, man.
Season number 3.
I was going to say.
Chinese qualifiers coming at you. Our final game of the night here, of the morning, wherever you may be. We have Invictus Gaming versus IG.Vitality. Again, the winner of this will go to the $300,000 LAN event set to take place in later February in good old Shanghai. So, will it be one of these two teams? Which will it be is the question now to answer. IG.Vitality winning the first game, but IG coming back in game number 2 to win that one. I will know something for sure as I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Minnie here once again. We are not going to see a Luna for game number 3, and I think there's a little bit of clapping going on by a lot of people right now. Sometimes it's just nice to have change, you know.
Definitely. That being said, Slaughter still on the board. I would assume first pick Slaughter really, because I think the last couple of games have really been determined by Luna. But with Luna being out the pool, there is the Slaughter as expected. We might see either a Life Stealer or Darksy picked up by Vitality now to make sure. Actually, Underlord is on the board though, so they have that available to them himself. But with Underlord, a very interesting hero actually. First of all, I think he's a strong, very, very strong hero. It kind of feels a very similar role as a Darkseer actually, in the sense that offers a lot of lane presence because of his E, so he can kind of contest lanes very easily, but is a good mech carrier like Darkseer as well, and a good kind of hero to sort of look around going for team fights. Now with that being said, he struggles against a few heroes in lane, one of them being Lifestealer and Ursa, and I'm wondering if they're going to pick up Lifestealer here, because obviously otherwise Invictus Gaming could pick up Lifestealer and get the starter Lifestealer combo, as well as take Lifestealer and deal with the Underlord in the lane, but they choose Batrider instead. So if this was me, I'd either take Darkseer or Lifestealer. I think Lifestealer might be actually a bit more preferred because he does well against Batrider as well as Underlord, depending on which one of those is going to be played in the off lane. Which is interesting as well, because Underlord normally is position 3, but now he might be played as position 3. Played as position 4, and then Batrider as the off lane 3. But we'll see. So there's the Lifestealer though, as expected.
Yeah, expensive recovery. Not only all the logic that you're saying, but when it comes to stats, as I pointed out earlier in the series here, you know, it's either been Luna or Lifestealer for burning, and obviously Luna being banned, they'll take the Lifestealer this time around. So, in most cases, at least. Of course, last game we did have. Wait, that was Paparazzi playing the Orphan. Never mind, he played the Luna last game. Anyways, point is, yeah, it's gonna be the Lifestealer here. But yeah, very curious about that. So where does that, I mean, possibilities of a mid Batrider, I guess, is this?
Yeah, there's definitely a possibility for mid Batrider, but I think the more likely scenario is Underlord will be played as the sort of support. It's something that I've seen a lot of other Chinese teams do as well. There's one particular team that plays it all the time, and I think whether it's either eHome or CDEC, but I might be wrong, but it's a team that plays Underlord solely as a position 4 all the time. So they might see it here for Vitality now as well and put Batrider in the off lane. But we'll sort of see. There's still a lot of draft yet to come. Rubik ban, as usual. I think a lot of Chinese teams sort of kind of like that hero a lot. So banning it out here is no surprise.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting to see. We haven't seen Rubik now in all 3 games with that ban right there. Again, mentioning that in this tournament in general, he's been one of the, if not even the most picked hero, I think. Again, the China scene, they especially love him there. So, but yeah, the Underlord, again, I don't know if, I know you mentioned he's got to see a little bit of the earlier series, but ROTK for vg.j played a very, very good Underlord and made some huge Dark Pact plays, specifically, or Dark Rift, excuse me, offensively. Dark Rift, and it was a lot of fun to watch with that lineup and everything as they were going in, you know, setting up fights with it, and thing of beauty. But yeah, overall, this hero again, it just seemed like he's been a very strong, you know, either tier 1 ban or picked up early hero ever since 7.0, especially. So.
Yeah. But there's a lot of weaknesses to him, like whether you find the weakness in the lane by either sort of having a Lifestealer or an Ursa against him. But not only that, but he doesn't really offer a lot of lockdown. Obviously, he has the root with the Pit of Malice, but with pairing that with a Batrider as well, there's not like a set stun, other than obviously you have the lasso. But playing like a lifestealer here, he's going to have kind of a decent game because the rage is going to be useful against taking off the sticky stacks as well as obviously getting out of the pit of malice as well, seeing that it is not a root and does not go through magic immunity. So
Outworld Devourer.
There's the OD.
Dire team pick.
Haven't seen him yet.
has been banned as well, but the Invictus game decides to ban Jug and TA, which again is the two heroes I mentioned about what are very good against Lifestealer. Ursa being the other one as well, because obviously a higher physical burst damage is very strong against Lifestealer. And when you pick a carry in the first two, you have to make sure that you're able to sort of pick it and not be countered too heavily by the enemy's cores. But Spirit now picked up by IG.
That's fun to see. Again, we saw Vitality banning that hero twice in the 2 previous games, but this time IG has actually managed to pick it up here with their 3rd pick instead. So
yeah.
they do have a triple melee lineup so far.
5 seconds remaining.
Really strong sort of Roma, really has always been, or kind of always will be in that sense. Not only that, but it works and combos quite nicely with the Lifestealer pre-Blink Dagger from Slardar. So it gives him the ability to excuse me, get Lifestealer into the fight with his roll before Slardar has Blink. But with that pick, it does show that Slardar is going to be playing as the position 3, which I've kind of talked about in this series already, which I'm not a big fan of. So there's that in that respect. So that ig.V definitely have ways to sort of punish the Slardar in the offlane because of his sort of weak laning presence and his kind of his slow jungle farm as well. So Slardar can definitely have a slow Blink Dagger if Vitality choose to prioritize sort of shutting the Slardar down.
There you go, Witch Doctor here, definitely more the aggressive support, but also, brings that sustain with that heal of his. But yeah, we've seen a couple of Witch Doctor games today, and again, it seems like they've all pretty much gone pretty well. The Maledict, good damage, the Death Ward, great assistance as well, and that cast can be really powerful in a lot of cases.
Remaining.
So, the Witch Doctor support. 4th pick for IG. They either need their 5 support, you figure, or probably that mid option.
Yeah, I mean, they already see that Vitality have picked up OD for their mid, so there's there's quite a few things that you could actually do. Sniper being one of them, actually, is a really good matchup against OD. And they have quite a lot of sort of tanky cores and kind of frontliners on IG already. Like, you have, obviously, 3 or triple melee, so that's kind of like you can kind of view it as like a barrier in front of Sniper. Obviously, there is ways to get onto the Sniper, obviously, Bat Rider with Blink and Force Staff being one of them, but that's kind of it, really. So I think Sniper wouldn't be the worst pickup here for IG, whether they want to pick it now or they want to pick it 5th. Could definitely work, actually. Can give problems to Bat Rider as well, because obviously you can start spamming Shrapnel and can sort of stop the Blink Dagger from Bat Rider and stuff like that. And again, as I said before, is a good matchup against OD. So if there is a Sniper game, I think this one is definitely one for the picking.
Yeah, that's it. Honestly, whenever OD comes out, that's one of the first things I kind of learned getting into the Dota 2 scene and kind of being a caster. That's one of the first kind of counter picks I learned about was the idea. Yeah, you get Sniper, happen to have an OD on the other side, of the potential of it at least could be strong. And
he's even better now, obviously, that OD got nerfed, or his W got nerfed in terms of the range, because obviously whenever you play OD against any other melee, or any other mid, is that you want to go ahead and use Astra Imprisonment on them, but they choose to go for the Ember Spirit instead. It worked for him good last game, but the one problem I mentioned as well is that Ember's sort of laning phase can definitely struggle. And against OD, I think he's going to struggle here as well. But there's a few ways that you can deal with it. Obviously, when you get Astra imprisoned as an Ember, you can actually pop the Flame Guard before you take the damage, so you can kind of nullify the damage with the Flame Guard. So Ember versus OD isn't the worst matchup as it kind of was before, but still not the greatest, obviously, because melee versus range, but definitely doable. He had kind of a hard lane last game and still obviously ended up kind of wrecking the last games.
He ended up just fine, I think, in the end. Now, again, a couple things come to mind. One is this is a 4 melee lineup now for IG, so worth pointing out there. But then also, they need to final pick a Storm Spirit here as a support option. So, hope we get the triple spirits to come. No, obviously that's not going to happen, but Earth and Ember Spirit on the same team.
I'd like to see a counter to Batrider. Venge, Oracle. I would say SD, but I think SD is very good. So I think it has to be the Venge or Oracle, I think, because otherwise they're going to struggle to deal with the Batrider, honestly. Like, he's going to jump in, either Lasso, whoever, Ember, Lifestealer, whoever, and then they're going to struggle with that. And I think Venge might be arguably the best decision here. It's okay matchup against Underlord in the lane as well. Can swap to stop the Witch Doctor ulti and has a good set stun as well. That's always very useful, but we'll see.
Yeah, actually, liking that vengeful choice here, possibly.
Dazzle would have been nice as well, because obviously it adds to the extra minus armor, but they choose Keeper of the Light, so they choose not to even have a Bat Rider sort of counter in that respect, but it's definitely good in the lane, can really pressure Underlord, obviously, with the Blinding Light, plus obviously Lifestealer sort of able to sort of get on top of him, so... But, as I said, there is no Bat Rider counter, so he's going to have a quite a decent game, so we might see an Ember Spirit going for a Linken's this game than the usual Yules and Vale, but we'll have to see.
Now, who is that 5th pick going to be? We figure probably the 1 roll here. Yeah, okay, that's a 1 roll.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's a good choice, really. The Jug was already banned, so Jug would have been nice against the Lifestealer, but with obviously all this negative armor from Slardar, the Sven is a decent plus armor carry in that respect, and gives them another stun, which I said they kind of lacked from the Underlord and Bat Rider first 2 in the draft. So yeah, I think they definitely... Both teams actually got a decent draft. I think it's hard to sort of say who has a big advantage. So we'll have to sort of see how it lanes out and how it plays out in the game, which is always nice.
Yep, that's why they play the games right there. Especially, yeah, it's always good to hear about having somewhat advantages on both sides when it comes to the draft. No clear-cut winner there on either side. So yeah, we believe it's going to be a 4 Underlord. Or Bat Rider.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we do see 4 Bat Riders as well. It's something that the Chinese do quite a lot, actually. But I think in this game, I think either or could work, actually. But I think it might just be easier to run the Bat Rider as the 4. But we'll have to see. It does look like it might actually be a support. No, it is going to be a support Underlord. Dogfights plays the support and Ninja is the offlaner, so yeah. So yeah, as expected, Underlord has been played as the position 4. The one problem that the Underlord as a position 4 is gonna have though is that he's not gonna have solo XP, and he's gonna sort of struggle to get his farm and his experience. Really, he looks like he's gonna be dual laning with the Bat Rider, so he's just gonna be trying to give as much space for this Bat Rider as possible. But obviously at the same time, he's gonna soak up a lot of experience from the Bat Rider, seeing as the Earth Spirit is gonna be roaming between mid, bot, and top. So it's going to be Kotl and Lifestealer versus the Bat Rider and Underlord. And I think both are okay with that, really. Like, normally, you really struggle against Bat Rider if you don't have a way to sort of clear the sticky stacks. But with the Rage from Lifestealer, he should be okay with it.
Here we go. The countdown's begun. 30 seconds to go. Well, those bounty runes going to be spawning. So far, it doesn't look like yet again either side is going to really try for any aggressive play here. Going to be pretty passive for the most part. And each be happy with the 2 runes on either side. So that's how things will kick off. But yeah, as far as the lanes go, it doesn't seem like, again, anything out of the ordinary here when it comes to what the lanes are going to be. The defensive trial lane against the aggressive dual lane, as you're talking about, of the Underlord and the Bat Rider up here. Kind of just sounds funky, Underlord Bat Rider in a lane. Yeah. It just doesn't sound like it goes together.
I mean, it's all right though. Like the Underlord is really just there to make sure that they can't dive the Bat Rider, because obviously he's there. Like he has either a trophy aura, which obviously makes him or makes the enemy team do less damage, kind of thing. So they can't really dive him if there's 2 heroes. Whereas if it was just Bat Rider alone, then Spirit, Kotl, and Lifestealer can just charge onto the Bat Rider. So the Underlord here is kind of like a bodyguard for the Bat Rider in this lane.
Yeah, like, all right, if you're gonna go on him, you got to deal with me, kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he's got PMS, so it's hard to sort of go through. And they're gonna charge, perhaps try and do something, but they're gonna struggle though. Yeah, they're just sort of dancing around between each other because they know they can't man up on either one.
Exactly. You see, yeah, they want to go for Bat Rider if anything, but yeah, it's not really giving them that option. So it does seem like this actually could work out. The Illuminati going to be used right there by I know it's Illuminate.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Down here bottom lane, look at Super, by the way. He's really up here, kind of boxing out the Slardar. Basically not letting him get anything, man. He's not even letting him jungle. That's so rude of Witch Doctor. Have a pause here. Okay, we're good. Good old quick pauses. But, yeah, Slardar, it's going to be yet again another struggle, it seems like, to get any kind of farm here. Witch Doctor making heavy priority of that. Sven, we expect him to, get an early Echo Saber, perhaps? Or what would you expect to see from this?
It's different, really, now. Like, I talked about, obviously, in Game 1 about the Helmet Dominator, actually, and it's something that a lot of carries are doing. Not only that, but Mask of Madness is very, very good now, and particularly on a hero like Sven. Normally with Mask of Madness, it's kind of you kind of struggle to sort of use it and not take too much damage. But obviously with Sven, it kind of pairs. It's a very nice pairing because obviously the Mom, you become silenced and also you take -5 armor. So as long as a Sven, you pop ulti and then blink in, then stun, then use Mom, then you've used everything you need to do. And not only that, but in terms of the minus armor, then obviously the Warcry is very good because you get +20 armor. So you're not really, the only thing you're doing is getting silenced, but because you've already used all your spells, you're not really taking any of the negative effects that Mom brings, but obviously you take all the benefits, which is the attack speed, which is obviously very good for Sven if you're hitting very, very hard. So we could either see Dom or Dom plus Mom. Dom plus Mom.
The Dom Mom.
Dom Mom, yeah, Dom Mom is very good, really, because you still take all the utility and taking a neutral creep, but also the crazy attack speed. But something like that, like Blink, Dom, Mom, Echo can be good, or even into ig.V and Daedalus, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, how the progress goes. I mean, we know for certain it is going to be free farm for him at the bottom lane. Obviously, we talked about Slaughter, and he's been heavily boxed out. It gets in there Iron Talon. I mean, he actually manages to hit level 3 here now, so Witch Doctor is no longer over there.
I have to disagree with this choice, honestly. I mean, I mentioned a little bit about how in the last game that Starter really sort of struggles to have any lane presence, but in this game there's only going to be the Witch Doctor and Sven. I think maybe he assumed that the Underlord was going to be bot as well, so he thought I might as well go straight into the jungle. But because him not having any presence, it's obviously going to give complete free farm to Sven. But not only that, you can see a lot of kind of stacks and sort of pulling is happening from the Witch Doctor as well. So Sven's going to have even better time because no one is in his lane.
Oh, he's insisting on doing the jungle thing for the time being. So yeah, again, Sven loving the idea of the free farm. Meanwhile, Underlord taking some good damage here at the top lane, but of course he'll be fine. He does have that poor man shield as mentioned.
Shrine is available here as well.
And the Shrine is ready, yep. Both sides,
yeah.
Shrine's good.
We're going to roll it onto the... Oh, nice kickback actually. This could be a kill actually.
I think it is. He puts Under on Ember Spirit. One more auto attack. Does he have an Orb of Venom? Of course he does. Chases him down.
Nice rotation from Earth Spirit. I was actually going to say how I don't really like what the Starter is doing because him going jungle, then it kind of forces Earth Spirit to only really be able to roam and gank mid. But obviously in that case it works out anyway, so it's fine. But obviously if Starter didn't go Iron Time jungle and try to contest the lane, then it allows Earth Spirit to come down bottom. But because Starter's not there, then Earth Spirit can only really roam between mid and top. But obviously it works there anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much, I guess.
Yeah. Hasted Ember Spirit, he's going to check out what's going on over here, throws out some Searing Chains and runs away, but LP again just simply scouting it out. As they are going to activate the Shrine though, so see a use of that here earlier on. Back to the middle lane though. How is that middle lane matchup going as far as CS goes? Looks like OD is winning it, 21-6 compared to an 18-5 Ember Spirit, but again, especially having that kill in their favor, you figure that's going to work out a little bit better for IG over here.
Yeah, and that's to be expected as well. Like if you think about it, in terms of the lanes for IG right now, or ig.vitality, excuse me, they have 2-on-2, and so heroes like Underlord and Witch Doctor can't really rotate, whereas someone like a Nursery is always going to rotate onto the middle lane. So yeah, that's fine.
Burning's been doing pretty well up here, 26-6 when it comes to his farming. It's not free farm like the Sven, but you know he's managing. Granted, Sven is much better, but again, he's literally going up against no one down here at the bottom lane, so understandable there as far as what he's able to do. And any progress yet? Looks like, okay, yeah, Helm of the Dominator could very likely be an early item for him. Let's have the headdress. So the Dom coming first. We'll see if he picks up the Mom as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it makes a lot of sense. It just has a lot of utility and sort of synergy with the hero of Sven. But if he goes Dom and Mom, then I think he's going to have a blink definitely as well. And then he's kind of a little bit item slot dependent, really, like because if he has those 3 items and then he goes an Echo Saver plus his boots and TP, then he has no space for either Daedalus or BKB. So he might just go ahead and miss out the Echo Saver completely, which was such a kind of a core item on him pre 7.00 patch.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Love the mobility of Earth Spirit as well with that rolling boulder, as I like to just simply call it, a barrel roll here. He was scouting out over there in the secret shop, even over at the boundary near the top side, and actually almost got a chance to even go on the courier, but he saw them coming in, so he decided to get back before they collapsed on top of him. But getting some nice information for the team, if anything, and again, he's assisted in that earlier first, or even got the first blood kill in that middle lane, as we saw.
I'd actually like to see him sit bot, because for the sort of time being, because right now he's like the last sort of he did get the kill obviously on OD, but he hasn't been sort of soaking up the experience down bottom. Stardo's been jungling for a while, so he hasn't really been able to. It's been a free lane, so he could have maybe gone bottom. Yeah, he's dead.
Pretty much a guaranteed thing in life right now is a dead witch doctor at this point. Casca's going to bounce around, kind of delay it a little bit, but there was no way he's getting through that. Obviously, the invis on Ember Spirit, I mean, he had no vision whatsoever to work with as far as seeing them coming down here, so yeah, easy kill. Oh, burning top lane, by the way. Go manning up against the Underlord. However, July is nearby. Not level 6, though, so no lasso going to be seen. Playing those sticky nade bombs. Port coming in, however. That'll be the end of that. Fine there. Super now makes his way to the top lane. They're going to be pushing this, but I've also been noticing about the Underlord and the Batrider up here. They've actually been kind of splitting farm up here.
Yeah, it does look like that actually, which is kind of peculiar. I think sometimes what you might see is that there might be quite a few stacks for Batrider to go back on, so he can sort of secure his blink. But actually, I think Underlord is going to be going down here. I think most likely. Oh, he's just at level 6 actually, and he should be fine actually. 2 seconds more. Oh!
He actually got away. Wow.
That was some jump. But yeah, like at the same time, though, like I think Underlord needs to have some kind of like farm, because if he doesn't, then he doesn't really offer too much as a hero. Like you want to kind of get the mech arcane boots and stuff, and you're not going to farm that being completely under farmed support. So it's good that sort of Batrider is going to the jungle, try and get his farm there, and sort of leaves up a free lane for the Underlord.
Burning pushing it back in, but again, Sven continues to be on the top of that Nerworth. He's in the jungle quite a bit. Obviously does have that Helm of the Dominator finish, and it actually looks like he's planning on going the Echo Saber next. So he's not going to be going the Mom at least just yet, as you're talking about the possibility there. But I feel like this is more of a I want to farm, perhaps, but he has the maxed out cleave, of course. But I mean, at the same time, it still could be potentially great for fighting as well. Obviously, with the double attacks there.
His creep's bottom, he's just pushing in bot, actually. Just wondering where his Helm of Dom creep was. He's got a little harping, he's sort of CS. It's actually really interesting. He's CSing in the lane while at the same time farming Ancients. It's quite funny.
Yeah, it's fun watching these top-tier players make things like that look so easy.
Yeah, man.
I can do it, but I know everyone can.
Yeah, easy for him.
Top lane is 4 up here. OD also joining up here, but I don't know if they're going to get a chance to make a play. I mean, Ember Spirit up here as well, but not big. Ember Spirit, by the way, he went the phase boots here. Did not go the boots of travel.
Yeah, I think this is like before the kind of the way you played Ember was obviously sort of Battle Fury and sort of push completely, and I think you had to go travels every single game. Whereas now the sort of style of Ember is kind of a nuky and kind of team fight build, and yes, you can still go travels and sort of push out lanes, but I think the phase boots and even treads sometimes is more common now, because you want to have that team fight and mid game presence, which obviously phase and treads offer you, whereas obviously travels is just about split pushing. So yeah, it's fun. Makes sense.
Gonna be put under right here in the middle lane, but obviously no follow-up coming, just simply harassing and farming out the creep wave here. Did I see a Blink Dagger, I believe? Yeah, Blink Dagger purchased by Slaughter, meanwhile. So this jungling, and he hasn't died yet, obviously. Hits level 9 right there as he picks up the bounty rune, and now he has a Blink Dagger coming. So honestly, Slaughter's managed pretty good.
Yeah, IG, I think, are going to be quite happy with this, really. The one, because obviously they're very happy with it in the sense that they're 2 kills ahead, and they had really kind of an AFK jungler for the most part. The one thing they need to be a little bit wary of, though, is that this Sven is obviously farming very, very quickly and very, very fast. He's like 2k ahead of the Lifestealer, so I think this Blink Dagger reveal has to be onto the kill, onto the Sven, honestly, because he's going to have Echo Saber after this catapult, and at 10 minutes with Helm of Dom and Echo Saber, he's going to be kind of snowballing very fast, out of control. So they need to make sure that they're shutting down this Sven.
Oh, they're going to group up here and smoke towards the top. They're looking for the kill on Underlord now. He does have a Dark Rift. Saw earlier with the getaway, but all 5 heroes, I don't think he's going to be doing it this time around. So you see the Earth Spirit doing his combo there with the Son of the Silence and everything being used, basically. So easy kill right there. At the top lane, Kata, blinding light pushback, but now he's going to get caught by Cicada. However, he is a little too deep right there, so yeah, they're not going to chase further. And they'll just be satisfied with the first tower.
Indeed.
Yeah. Going to push it back. So they do have counter push.
So they got Echo Saber now on the Sven. I think they're still going to probably wait for Blink Dagger before they start going as 5. I think for the side of IG. So Sven's still going to be farming, but if they see an opportunity, then yeah, sure they can find kills. Going to stun the Ember here, but he's going to be fine. And both T1 towers on the other side are going to be gone. But here comes for the Slaughter though.
Yeah, they catch Sven. This is the target that they want. It's mentioned right here. He's just simply running though. Sakata doing what he can to help him out. In comes a Magnetize though, and the Voltage Smash goes through, and Sven will get caught. And eventually picked up. OD also goes down. That was absolute worst case. Not only did they lose Sven, but they also lose another core, as OD was trying to help right there.
That was actually a really good play by IG. They were very, very quick about it as well. They took the T1 tower, instantly lifestealer, jumped inside the Slaughter TP down bot, and then obviously was able to catch the Sven completely unprepared there. So nice, quick play, and definitely a very key and important kill into the Sven.
Yeah, he's still out for another 15 seconds right here, and so much farm being lost, and you know, see, and even with him being dead this whole time, and you see how much of a net worth lead he's had in this game. But obviously, any kind of slowing down, very beneficial for the side of IG. Now they rotate back towards the top lane again. They're working with this 5-0 start so far. Armlet on Lifestealer, of course. Invis on Witch Doctor. This is a true Invis, obviously, no smoke by any means. And it's going to have plenty of information right here for the team to work with. I don't think they're going to be jumping anyone, but it's going to be a moving ward for the time being. And spotting them out, although it does have teammates coming over, so maybe this is going to be something. Oh, the blink, though, from XSS. The insight there to blink away. And yeah, they saw them, so.
Yeah, they know what's up. No one's showing down bottom, so they have to assume Sven is looking for a gank. Ember should be fine as well. There was a blink dagger actually on bat, so that could have been very, very close actually, but gets away nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm unable to catch him, so gonna have to save that blink for another time. Makes me wonder too if they've actually seen that blink yet on Bat Rider, or if he's been able to hide that for the time being. But obviously he's good to go with that lasso combination, catching somebody.
Looks like IG might try and contest though. Lifesteal is about to jump into the Slaughter just now, and it looks like they're going to be running top. I think this tower is going to die though before IG are going to be ready, but they're going to smoke up anyway and maybe try and contest the defense on the tier 2. They did fort though actually.
Now they forward, and that gets them to fall back for the time being.
Gonna get the deny maybe? Nope. Yeah, that's because I thought you missed it.
Swing.
I got the deny.
Big fallback though.
Both teams want to fight though, I think.
Look at Underlord here. Nice cancel animation coming out, but yeah, it's a good job here by IG, not pushing out too far. In fact, they're smoking towards the middle lane now. You do see Lifestealer inside Slaughter right here, but not going to find anyone as we see, and we'll continue to play the game. Oh, we're going somewhere. Where are they going? On the middle lane? Yeah. All right, they'll join middle.
It's Nymphora breaking all over again.
Oh, God. Basically is, yeah, in that case. Except it's the fact that he can bring everyone with him at level 6 ultimate. I mean, that's
OP, mate, OP.
Pretty strong, pretty strong.
They need to be careful here though, because they're gonna be getting jumped very easily by. Well, actually, Bastards gonna be jumping in. Actually, could not find the Earthsplit though.
He tried to find somebody. Obviously, as you saw mentioned there, he did not. Ember Spirit's charging in. They're going to make a play right here. Underlord dropping pretty quick. There's a lasso on Ember Spirit, but he has a playmill actually, and they do get the kill onto Underlord. This is also going to be a dead Bat Rider, most likely in July Falls, and a 2-for-0 exchange right there. They also caught Witch Doctor, make it 3-for-0.
It's very, very risky for kind of both teams to kind of make that kind of play. Like regularly, you want to kind of, if you have the advantage, you want to push the tier 1 tower, group up and take 5. But the problem is that these blink daggers, particularly for the side of IG, are very dangerous because they have Lifestealer, Stardock sort of bombing in, and you're going to instantly blow someone up. So sort of taking that kind of orthodox approach to sort of grouping as 5, taking a tower is very dangerous when the enemy team has very good initiation such as that. So they need to be really smoking, trying to take a team fight before they try and go ahead and take a tower, because they simply can't do that because they're going to lose the team fight every single time.
Yeah, I got to ask you, because it caught me off guard. I wonder if it caught Vitality off guard, but a Blade Mill and Ember Spirit, is that
it's very normal. Yeah, like normally you go 2 ways really, or not. Sometimes you can go both. Either you go the Veil Ember or you go the Blade Mail. Sometimes you go both actually. It just adds obviously a lot of sort of damage kind of thing, and it's you're going to be in the team fight taking a lot of damage, so the Blade Mail is kind of adds to that, put simply. It wouldn't surprise me if he goes for Vale after that as well. It looks like he's going to Lincoln's, which I said I mentioned he needed to get against the Bat Rider, but he might go back for a Vale. But normally you go one or the other. Either you go Blade Mail or Vale, and this time he chose to go Blade Mail. But I think it makes sense though. Like I said, there's a lot of AoE, what's the word? Kind of
controlled damage.
Adulterated. Yeah, exactly. Like, for example, Firefly. The Firefly from Bat Rider, the Firestorm, like, they can't control it, kind of thing. So him, he could just run into that and give a lot of damage, or dish out a lot of damage to the Bat Rider and the Underlord as well.
Blink being finished right here on Sven, so has that now to work with. Looks like BKB going to be next in line. So yeah, pretty standard build right here. Yeah, it's really between the difference between the Mom or the Echo Saber, and like we talked about, he went the Echo Saber here. So. Lifestealer, does he have his Desolator yet? No, he's working on it though. As he has his own Echo Saber to go with that armlet, of course. He's being protected pretty heavily by his teammates right here, as expecting maybe something could be happening. But as we see, not necessarily the case. Underlord's still trying to finish that mech. But again, this is kind of a, I guess it's technically a 4, but it's kind of been a 3/4.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're both like 4 and 3s, both the Bat Rider. I think the thing about Bat Rider though is that you kind of all you need is Blink really, and sort of similar goes for Underlord as well. All you kind of need is Mech, and then you kind of as useful as your hero can be really. So I guess 4-star is also good, but it's gonna be a team fight mid lane though.
There's a jump once again, catches a couple, including the Witch Doctor 10 right off the bat. Dogfight's already at half life, doesn't have the Mech just yet, ain't gonna be able to heal up. Sven jumps in, the Blinding Light though pushes it back, and now he's in trouble as he's silenced as well. The Magnetize also doing plenty of damage, laying down the hammer, Sakata, but it doesn't even get a kill. Okay, it finally does onto Slaughter in the background, but at what cost here? Well, that's a death, most certainly. A 3-for-1 exchange.
And this is what I was saying though for ig.vitality. They can't just go ahead and just push a tower. Like this kind of mind-numbing and kind of no kind of direction in what they want to do is not going to work, because they're going to be getting initiated on every single time by this Slaughter who has a blink dagger. They need to blink. They need to smoke. They need to try and take a team fight. In the kind of sense that they have the initiation, they have the advantage. Instead, they're going to be pushing us 5-10 the tower, and it's not going to work out. And as a result, that's what happened right there. Now Sven is sort of very far behind on where he should be. He's kind of equal to the Lifestealer, where in fact he should be a lot higher than the Lifestealer. They're chasing this Earth Spirit, but I do not think they can catch him. There's no way. Yeah,
I love the patience by him too. He could have used that barrel a lot sooner, but he figured he was maybe going to be blocked if he did, so he just kind of kept running and then eventually made his way out of there. Yeah, Sven was coming, but could not close that gap enough, so he does make his escape. Game paused, and honestly, I would not be surprised if this is one of those we got to talk things over kind of pauses.
Yeah, definitely.
Feels like it could be.
The last 2 teamfights they've lost because of, put simply, they just kind of went without any kind of thought. They just like, oh, let's just push this tower, and then they just get caught out by the initiation. Like you saw, Witch Doctor blew up instantly to the Lifestealer and Starter, and then once one hero's dead, you're going to be winning that team fight every single time. There's not great AoE and great team fight really for the side of Vitality. I think their team fight and how they want it to go is they catch someone with Bat Rider, and then they ulti from the Sven and instantly one-shot him. But instead, obviously, when they're getting initiated on, they don't have any kind of counter. They don't have like a Winter Wyvern that they had last game, for example. None of this. And so as a result, they ended up losing.
Yeah. Bottom lane. Gonna pop out right here. Double damage here on Ember Spirit. Should be a pretty easy tower push. Doesn't look like Vitality. Oh, maybe they are gonna try to defend this. They are porting in. And the base tower right there. Sven is not here just yet. I'm assuming he has a TP. Yeah, he is gonna be porting in right on the tower, actually. Over into the trees, so definitely a potential fight could be breaking out right here. You see the Illuminate. We'll push it the creep wave and be the call for the fallback here of IG, that is. So not going to force any fights. I think it's safe to say they probably feel pretty comfortable with where they're at right now. A Desolator also just about finished on Burning. Perhaps want to finish that before anything as well. Ember Spirit, the Lincolns. Just about finished. Dark Pact, where are we going? Middle lane?
Oh, please don't do the same thing that you did last time. Please don't just push a tower and die. They've got smokes available to them, but they're not using them, and I'm not sure why really. They're going to rotate into Roche now, but this is kind of the same. If IG realizes this is happening, they can go ahead and just go into Roche.
100% did. I went to their vision for a second, and they definitely see them walking in here. So
this is really bad play by Vitality right now.
It's going to be jump, crush. Nope. XSS, he's like, I want to go, but I don't. I want to go, but I don't. Being timid. There's a last one in the background. Catches Ember Spirit. Actually a pretty good target. Sven with a follow-up. They got strength. This up. Is enough damage? No, it's not. Ember Spirit gets away with his Remnant. In the background, Witch Doctor going to be picked off by Earth Spirit as the Magnetize doing the job there. Bat Rider flying along the Roshan pit meanwhile, simply trying to live, but that Firefly's going to wear off. And he's kind of stuck in the pit. We have several different fights somewhat happening over here. You look at the bottom down here. They are going to fight dog fights, and down it goes the Underlord and the OD as OP is able to chase him down. Sven at least makes his way out of here, but no kills, a 3-for-0 for IG, and guess what? That also means Roshan.
Again, with Vitality, like, I don't know what's happening to their calls or their direction or their kind of leadership right now, because every single play they've made right now has been exactly the same one. They've been grouping up as 5 and allowing the initiation to happen onto them. That team fight actually didn't go as bad as it could have really, because they actually got the Bat Rider initiation onto the Ember. Unfortunately, they weren't able to kill him. If they were able to kill it at the Ember, that team fight would have been completely different. Unfortunately, Ember got away with a Remnant. He had regen in his bottle as well, so he was able to get back to full HP and full life. And then as a result, you know, the Slaughter initiation jump onto, I think it was the Witch Doctor and the Underlord as well, was too strong, and they ended up losing it. But they take Roche now as well, and now they're in IG are in such a commanding lead right now in this game. So
yeah. Again, guys, I mean, this is a big deal as far as what's on the line here. It's a trip to Shanghai. You know, for some of these players, it may not be the longest travel necessarily, but the $300,000 prize pool is what's really on the line there. And again, later in February taking place. So ig.vitality, a couple pauses thrown out. It could be technical pauses, but it's understandable if they're really throwing out some strat pauses here and they're really trying to talk things over, because again, they're down 14-1, and everything suggests that they are in a lot of trouble. Sven? No, okay.
Not enough damage. That Blade Mail gives Ember enough armor as well. Something I didn't mention of why I probably picked up the Blade Mail.
Yeah, I
guess Veil gives armor as well, I guess, but still.
Why not get more? That's always good. Coddle, by the way, already has the Ags.
Oh,
bottom lane, Lasso catches their Spirit. He has a little bit of help coming in from Slaughter. Magnetizes out, trying to barrel roll away. It's not going to be enough. He will go down, but they get the turn kill. At least on a Witch Doctor, so an eye for an eye right there. That's top lane. OP is going to have fun with Sven. Pops the Blade Mail, and Sven's like, all right, I got to stop attacking. And he'll pour it out himself. Another 1-for-1, but IG will take those exchanges at this point.
Yeah, I'm wondering what Ember's going to go after he picks up his Lincolns. I mean, I would say like Veil is still good, but I think it's like now it's 23 minutes into the game. He's already got 2 kind of big items already. I think going back for a Veil would kind of be the wrong choice, I think. So maybe something... Again, he could go straight into Roxarine Core, but I think Maelstrom might be the better decision. And yeah, look, he just clocked it up into his inventory. So yeah, it's going to be a Maelstrom and then into an Oxarine Core. So makes sense.
As mentioned there again before all that, the 1-for-1 there, Coddle with the Ags already finished and had a pretty good timing, and that's just really it puts us here on another level. You know, you get the Ags and all of a sudden you got that moving ward with plenty of vision to work with, and can be very, very powerful for controlling the map even that much more. So
what have we here?
Definitely Vitality.
I hope Cole picks up a gem, to be honest, because like obviously Cottle Ags is great, but with gem as well it's even better because you have obviously complete high ground vision of like I think it's 800 or 900.
Yeah.
Kind of around himself, and obviously it'd be great because there's still a few wards. There's the gem. There's still a few gems, still a few wards on the side of Vitality on the map, so good to take them out. And the gem is in his stash, so he's gonna carry it over when the courier is back at base.
Yeah, noticing OD here. I haven't talked too much about it, but Sakata 1-4-0. Obviously a very difficult game, as it is really across the board for his team. But I mean, he does say what the hand of mine is. He's got the Forest Staff. He's working on a BKB now, so that'll be helpful. But definitely, you would like to see your OD a little more farmed.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think he went back for a Midas because he realised like his team, like first of all, OD in itself doesn't really farm very well. OD as a hero is like you want to sort of group up and take team fights and get your farm that way, but because he's been losing team fights, he needs a way to kind of get back into it. But there is a smoke now. If they can catch someone with the bat, it'd be quite good.
Coddle? Yeah, that's going to be a start, but Slaughter's like, no, you ain't going anywhere with him, baby. In comes the Magnetize once again from Earth Spirit. There we go. Coddle will survive, actually. And now OD going to put himself under, trying to live as well. Sven going at it with a Lifestealer. Lifestealer will go down, but again, he had the Aegis, so he's going to be fine. Magnetize continuing to do plenty of damage in the background. Lifestealer so far the other one to die. Pops back up there with the Aegis. Nice double stun right there. And Lifestealer is going to fall again. Beautiful combo coming out. Laying down the hammer as well as the stun from Sven. But here comes Ember Spirit. He wasn't there this whole fight, so perhaps a big reason as to why it went so well initially for Vitality, but as soon as Ember Spirit gets here, look at that, a triple kill. And Batrider's the only one to survive. So, yeah, Ember Spirit kind of changed everything.
Yeah, he just wasn't there for the fight, which is the biggest reason. He was very, very slow. I think his TP was on cooldown and he didn't have a remnant nearby, so he had to run all the way from like bot lane practically to get into that fight. But in the end, though, they still clean up as expected because they have the Aegis as well as the kind of golden experience advantage. It was an okay attempt by Vitality actually. You saw they got at least an okay initiation with the bat, jumping onto the Kotl and killing him practically straight away. But in the end, Ember was the deciding X factor.
I was gonna say this too, yeah, and he can recall the starter as he does right there. Comes in with the infest.
He had life stealing while
Yep.
as well. So.
And there's
in
the
which
quick
Doctor
kill
is no longer a hero. So.
That's teamwork right there. Oh man, Batrider, one auto attack from death, but manages to actually run away. But there goes the top secondary. Now the middle is the only one left here. Sven? Okay, he's good. Able to blink away before they get the jump onto him, but here comes the last secondary tower. I don't know if Vitality is going to be looking to defend this one fully. Probably going to give it up, yeah. So if you want to go into our base, we'll defend that, but not going to worry about the outer towers. Mission accomplished, though, from IG. And we got a 420, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go, boys. 420, blaze it.
We're all so immature.
So hipster.
What does this say? Shadowblade going to be coming out on Slaughter here?
Yeah, I think I like Shadowblade. Like, it gives him the ability to sort of catch a lot of split pushes, which I think is where Vitality kind of need to take this game. Really, they need to be kind of split pushing because right now they're not winning 5-on-5 engagements, so they need to sort of split push, try and find a pick off. And Shadowblade is great sort of counter split pushes really because you can go under text against wards and obviously get closer to them, and a great way to sort of catch. And obviously with Lifesteal inside of him, it kind of is a Shadowblade for 2 heroes instead of just 1. So. But he's gonna might go back for a bit of BKB as well. Either or go both good. BKB is more team fight oriented, and I think Shadowblade's better for picking off. So either way is quite good.
All 5 grouped up here at the top. IG Vitality gonna throw out that smoke and head towards the middle lane as far as IG goes. Almost looks like they have a similar idea, but they do not have smoke on them, at least currently. Kotl does, but not with the team. We'll see if they end up using it right here. There is a true invis on Ember Spirit, actually, so things could get a little hairy here as they're making their way towards one another. No smoke just yet on the side of IG.
Well, they do not want to go against high ground against this. And they'll be fighting against Sanctuary as well. This would be really bad for Vitality.
Lucky they were not seen right there, yeah.
This.
Oh, now it's their turn.
Yeah, they know what's up.
Here comes the smoke from IG. And Slaughter, of course, in the front lines. Don't know if they're going to be able to really catch anyone, though. They see Sven at the bottom lane, but they're all running back, so are going to make their way out of there.
Yeah. The one weakness of IG's lineup right now is that they don't have the greatest push. Like Ember, a terrible pusher because he's all magic damage, and Lifesteal not very good because he's melee. He has Desolate and AC, which is good, but the problem is that he doesn't have Lincoln. So if he starts going on the high ground, yes, he's going to do quite a lot of damage, but he's going to get bat lassoed. So here we go though.
There's a jump, the quick kill on OD. Wow, he just fell like it's hot right there. 50-second cooldown on his resurrection. No buyback to be had. Ember Spirit jumps and Ember Spirit gets caught though. The clean damage from Paparazzi. The 3 kills, the 4 kills. He will go down, but he took 4 players with him as he gets the ultra kill. And of course he has a buyback after that. Holy lordy. Chrysalis, man.
Chrysalis, boys. Sven for you right there. Man, that was so much damage. Honestly, it's crazy. It was a good pickup actually as well. Like, you saw how quickly they killed the OD, but they all clumped up, and one Sven stun into Sven Cleave was the team fight over for IG there. And this is the kind of the one weakness as well, is that if they start clumping up, obviously Sven can do that, and that's why I think they need to. IG needs to be waiting for Roche, because that could happen, but that could happen while they're pushing high ground. It just happened when they were like sort of outside in the team fight. Still great play by Sven there.
Yeah, that's the potential of Sven right there for sure, especially with the Chrysalis. You look up to the Dota 2 gods, and sometimes they want to help you out. That's exactly what they did right there.
The stars align, breaking. The stars align.
They did. So, but it's still quite the gap, however. Let's not get too excited for Vitality. you know, you're looking at a 10,000 net worth and experience lead in IG's favor. Obviously, Lifestealer and AC finish now, so big there. Ember Spirit working on that Octarine core. That's about 2,100 gold saved up here. So we'll see when he manages to get that. And Earth Spirit, actually, I think, was that going to be a Lotus Orb coming out for Baboka here on the Earth Spirit. Smoke middle lane. All 5 are smoked up. Going to try to catch the Coddle.
Well.
Lasso? No. Blinding Light, he actually missed right there. In the back of the crowd. What is going on this fight? Everyone's missing. And now Sutter gets caught by the stun. Actually, look at those auto attacks. The crit's coming out. Gets caught by the root as well. And he will fall. But here we go. All the BKB's been activated. Burning going for the OD. Sakata, they'll lay down the hammer. Gets the 1 kill. Burning now. He's in trouble. It's going to be 3 for nothing. Most likely as down he goes. Make it a 4 for nothing perhaps. As Ember Spirit's still around. He picks up Witch Doctor. But at what cost? He's in trouble. OP is going to be fine, apparently. Okay, he is OP. He gets wet. Oh, never mind. Bat Rider changing that story. Flame Break back, and he will get the kill. So 4 for 1 in favor of IG Vitality, and this is a free Roshan. Now they're back in this game.
It just goes back to Slara's really bad initiation. He stunned no one, then tried to get away with a 4-star, but then he 4-starred himself away from his team. Then obviously Sven caught up with him, killed him, and then obviously it leaves Lifestealer kind of isolated as well because obviously he was inside Slardar, and then Sven pops God Strength, and no way can Lifestealer man fight against Sven with God Strength, so it's just too strong. So in the end, they ended up seeing Slardar. Ember comes in, but it's just too little, too late.
Wow, 32 minutes in, and this is definitely swinging back in favor of Vitality. I mean, it's closing down to about a 5,000 net worth, and much less than that on the experience side. And you know, I was gonna say if that was an IG pause, it's gonna be their turn to talk strats here, but it's actually once again a pause by Vitality. Gonna continue to figure out what they're doing right here to amplify off of that. No, but you got Sakata is gonna have a armor soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be Shiva's.
Shiva's, yeah. I totally blanked on the name right there. That
Sorry,
armor item. It's getting late, man, or really early in the morning for me.
What time is it where you are right now?
It's 9:20 a.m. I've been up.
You've been up this whole time?
Yeah, I've been up since what? We started
Breaky.
at.
That's dedication right there.
We started at like 2:30 a.m.
Clap to Breaky.
I'm an old guy too, man. I'm an old guy.
Man. Yeah. Jeez, man.
No, but happy to be
dedication
here.
Right there.
This has been some good, Dota. I know that you were excited. You know, you saw that it was happening.
Yeah.
To co-cast here some because you've been watching a bit of the Chinese Dota recently.
Yeah, I've been watching loads of Chinese Dota right now because obviously you have this league and then you have the DPL as well, which is really the only kind of competitive Dota. I think particularly whenever a new patch hits, it's so important to watch what the pros are doing. Really, if you have any idea of what, if you want to have an idea of what's going on in the meta right now. So yeah, but game is back underway.
And it is, as bounty been stolen by Q right there. Not necessarily the biggest steal in the world at this much later on in the game, but still, every bit counts. Sven, what is he looking at for his level 25? He get either 65 damage or minus 5 second on the Stormhammer, so it makes it, what, 8 second cooldown?
Yeah, I think both are good, honestly, or both are equally as mediocre as each other. I think it really depends on whether you're lacking lockdown or lacking sort of damage, really. I think both are good. I think in this case, though, I think actually the extra damage might be better. Because I think that the two heroes he wants to sort of lock down, either the Ember or the Lifestealer, have ways to sort of deal with the Stormhammer. Obviously, Ember has Lincolns and then Lifestealer has Rage, so having a lower cooldown could be argued that it's actually better to get it. But at the same time, if he gets an extra 65 damage, that one stun could be all the difference to sort of wipe and clear and cleave them down to death with that extra sort of damage. So I think damage might be what he chooses here, but we'll see. I think both are good and have their own merit in itself.
Push bottom lane, secondary tower. Bat Rider, of course, looking for that opportunity yet again. Do some decent lassos this game, but they're going to smoke in. Here we go. He's going to miss this crush. Well, they catch Underlord. They can drop pretty quickly. Yes, they get him killed right off the bat. There's a lasso, though, on a Slaughter. He's done his job, though, so not necessarily the biggest deal, but Burning's kind of taking some good damage right here. Maledict's is on him, actually. In comes the Sanity's Eclipse, and I think Burning, he's going to keep on the run. So, yeah, he does die, though, to the Maledict, it looks like. Meanwhile, Magnetize activated. Ember Spirit chopping through, gets the kill. Onto the Witch Doctor, but more retreat mode for IG as Earth Spirit is trying to get away from this Bat Rider. Or maybe he's trying to kill the Bat Rider. I'm not really sure what's happening there. As Sven's also very low himself. OP running back in. The Lincoln Spear will prevent the stun. and they take out Sven. He has no buyback, by the way, for 80 seconds. That could be crucial. And they're going to also chase down OD, who also, okay, he has the Aegis, that's right. So he'll come back up. Now, can they follow this up is the question. Answer's no. Bottom lane, Batrider's fine.
They're recalling Ursula as well, I think. Or no, they're calling Ember. That was a misplay. Ember was already there.
Oh, yeah.
Could have maybe caught him actually if they had, because they had rolling border plus the Yules. They might have been actually caught the Batrider if he recalled the Ursula there. But nonetheless, still good fight from IG overall. And you're actually sort of seeing the weakness now. Sven, like Sven's always had the problems of being kited and being kind of too immobile. He's fine when he pops his BKB and then he's able to sort of kill. I think it was either the lifesteal or the Slider instantly, and that was fine. But obviously when BKB runs out, it's only a 6-second duration now. Ember is doing a great job actually of sort of kiting him. Obviously he doesn't even have Octarine core, but when he has that, plus the +2 second Syrian chains, Sven is going to really, really struggle and kind of doing any damage after his BKB is down, because he keeps getting rooted by the chains and there's nothing he can do. They don't have any Lotus Orbs on the side of Vitality. There's one Force Staff, although there's 2 Force Staffs. Oh, there's actually quite a few actually, but still, it's still not enough really to deal with the Syrian chains of Sven.
They have 3 Force Staffs actually.
So they only have 1.
A little bit.
Oh, then OD's got 1. He's got 3. But it doesn't matter. Like if he's still in Syrian chains, doesn't matter where he is. If he can't move, he can't attack, kind of thing. So he needs to. I think Lotus Orb is really important. But the problem is that obviously when Ember gets his Octarine core and he gets his level 25, that Syrian chains on Sven is going to probably be the difference of why IG are going to be winning these team fights. Sven simply can't dish out his damage. The only way to deal with it is to kill Ember Spirit first, but he's got Lincoln Spheres, so he can't get he can't be the lasso target. And then obviously there's the Slider stun and sort of save in that respect to help the Ember Spirit. So right now I'm you know, Invictus Gaming are looking quite good going forward, seeing as Ember is at 20 gold away from his Octarine and he's just hit level 25. So there's that.
There we go, the 2-second Searing Chains. And yep, the Octarine basically coming up just any second now, near that secret shop even. So, level that combo as you're getting at top lane. They're trying to bait out this Earth Spirit here with the Slaughter and the Life Stealer, but not going to get anything out of it. OD will eventually get here and clean up the pushing creep wave, but the escape at the top side. But again, another case of both teams going to start playing a little more passive perhaps, a little more scared of one another. Definitely hope for either side now with how this game has continued to swing back and forth. But there is officially the Octarine core finished here on the Ember. Bottom lane, definitely initiation. Now they do not have OD, so we'll see what happens with this. Ember Spirit, though, he drops. They say Octarine core
nice
this
play.
bitch.
Really nice play from back there. Takes off the Lincolns obviously with a Force Staff and then was able to sort of get the lasso, but you've got to be very, very quick though to do that, because obviously Ember should really in fact have the advantage, because obviously he's getting jumps on, but then he has that one sort of spell block from the Lincoln, and that should be enough to sort of use the Remnant to get out. But in the end, Batrider was too fast and was able to kill Ember, which I said before is probably the most important hero to kill in these team fights if Sven is to do anything going forward.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And yeah, it felt like that was also pretty risky in the sense that, again, Batrider was not there, or not Batrider, OD was not there either. He was actually pushing out the top lane, so if they really got committed to a fight, that could have been really, really critical. But again, they made the very good decision and execution even of killing the Ember Spirit and getting out before anything really happened from it. So Ember's staying dead here for another 45 seconds. They're not going to be able to siege the base by any means, but they are going to go ahead and start taking out more secondary towers. They're going to make their way to the middle lane. And they'll look to drop this one now. Sven with that Daedalus, the AC in the works. So he really is getting very, very farmed right here.
Yeah. I think after he gets AC, I think there could definitely be an argument to perhaps get Restoration Stone, because that BKB is very, very important. Because once that gets sort of a 5-second duration, like he's not going to do anything. But with Resto, obviously he has double God Strength, and obviously he can double Stormhammer as well as having his blink off cooldown. So having that extra mobility might be more important than picking up another damage item. So obviously he'd sell his Echo Saber when that time comes for it, but we'll see. He's still got quite a lot of farm to get before he can pick up that. But AC is now done. But definitely Echo Saber is the next item to sell, but whether it's for, you know, a Resto or it's for something else, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, refresher you think could be a possibility? Have that
Yeah, refresher.
double god strength.
Refresher. Yeah, definitely. I think that's probably the best way because he needs to have mobility, and having double ig.V is probably most important.
Trying to find somebody here at the top lane, but not going to be the case. You got, once again, Lifestealer sitting inside Slaughter here. There's a Blink Dagger on OD, a pretty late Blink Dagger, but better late than never. Helps with more catch potential and extra mobility here. So
yeah, it's really good synergy with OD because obviously you can imprison yourself and then blink out because your 3-second cooldown on blink when you take damage is nullified when you get the imprisonment off.
Oh, Mana Leak on Paparazzi right there causes them to stand still, but as we see, not really anything happening just yet. Ooh, it looked like they were charging in. Slaughter on the bottom down here, so definitely...
it's daytime as well. They have all division right now, IG do.
Yeah. Cottle. They can pick and choose their targets, it feels like. Slaughter really trying to find that target that he wants. There's a Mana Leak onto Underlord in the background. Okay, Paparazzi's the one that jumps actually, and he needs to run. Lifestealer still inside, finally pops out. Batrider is in trouble. The Blade Mill activated on to OP as well. The stun not going to happen because of that link in. Slaughter was picked off. Cottle does buy back after dying. Sakata trying to finish off OP. Not able to chase him, though, initially. Does have that Blade Mill to activate again, but it's not going to matter. He goes down again. He does not have a buyback for 100 seconds right here. That is absolutely huge. OD puts himself under. Not going to fall victim to burning right here.
One night
on Lifestealer. But they're going to turn back in, but is this going to be the best decision? They want to kill this OD. 4 stats away. Great mobility and great team support. Buyback onto Earthspirit, meanwhile. And Lifestealer actually still holding his ground pretty well. Cottle not so much. 1100 damage from Sven. Slaps his face into the ground and gets the kill onto Cottle again. So this has just gone all so well for Vitality, though.
It's unbelievable. There's a DD picked up by Sven, so that last team fight went so well. He's doing so much damage actually, and was able to kill the Slaughter. And again, when Sven has God Strength on, Lifestealer can't really man fight him, so they're trying to bait out the big Actually, nice Lotus Orb. I'm gonna save Lifestealer not for long.
That's the Lifestealer dead? Nope, maybe not. Okay, Armlet Toggle, barely enough to keep him alive, but Earthspirit will lose his life in the process of saving his teammate. But that means that's going to be the tower. The Rax is soon to fall. Again, Emberspirit down for 35 more seconds. And
top as well, maybe. Oh, no, that's back off.
Back off for
play
now.
It safe. Roche is still available, so they're going to go ahead and take Roche. But, yeah, really nice play from Vitality, though. But seeing as how far behind they were, to sort of bring it back is actually really good. But it looks like there's going to be some TVs, though, coming in from Slaughter.
Yeah, they're going to try to get a catch right here. Some kind of kills, but now Slaughter, after the Batrider pickoff, has to pop the BKB, running out for the time being. Pops the Shrine, but obviously they weren't really able to fight around it, so not really doing the most beneficial right there. Mana Leak applied, Illuminate comes out. In the background, though, Sakata with that BKB, feeling confident. Burning's in trouble with big crits here for Paparazzi. That could be the end of Lifestealer. He's going to stay alive for the time being, though. Out comes a Blinding Light, the stun. No, the 4 staff away. Keeping his distance. The kite is real, but not real enough. Sven eventually catches and secures the kill. Buyback not to be had on Lifestealer. Buyback from Batrider, however, is happening. Emberspirit trying to get a couple of kills here himself. Wants the easier target on Witch Doctor. Not going to happen. Sven, though, will he get those crits? Slaughter goes down. Emberspirit flying every which way with those remnants. Odie puts down Sven right there, but down goes Emberspirit. And a double kill for Sakata. Cottle will just blink away, trying to just simply live this whole time. But another one fight for IG Vitality, and I think the end is near at this point, it feels like.
Yeah, and there's no buyback on Lifestealer, there's no buyback on Emberspirit. I think they can go bot. Sven's just going to go in, try and man up on the Sven, but I don't think this is the play, my friend.
Distraction. Says, follow me, and it's kind of working. He's going to magnetize them. All right, I mean, the more time he delays right here, he's saving the base a little bit, but yeah, he's dead. He can only survive for so long.
They're going to go bot. Sven has God Strength, so they can just smash through this tower. And with Lifestealer dead for 15 seconds, they should be able to take at least a second lane of Rax here as well.
This has got to sting if you're IG. I mean, again, knowing what's on the line, again, it's moments like this where, as a spectator and as a caster, it's, you know, you can appreciate what's on the line, and it really makes it that much more epic feeling. But at the same time, knowing that one of these teams
heartbreaking,
going to be falling just short in IG, they had to lead this game.
Well,
it's got to hurt.
A few lucky crits from Sven, and the cleave was just too much, honestly. And what I'm actually really surprised about actually is how well IG Vitality are playing around the Emberspirit level 25 and Oxring core. There hasn't really been a lot of team fights where Sven has felt that he's not been mobile enough. Like, they've been either killing or really sort of pressuring Ember Spirit in these team fights to make sure that he can't use his Syrian Chains combos a lot onto the Sven, which gives obviously Sven a lot of free roam in the team fights, which obviously is very important because he's all the damage right now on the side of Vitality. So yeah, a really nice play actually. Vitality to try and shut down the Ember.
Yeah. It's not over yet, of course, but it's, again, Vitality's in total control right now. And hey, I guess IG was ahead and ended up not working out so much, so anything can happen, really. But yeah, you really think about it, it really was this fight here, as I drew it earlier, drawn again at this spot, that where Sven got the crits and the 4 kills as a result. That's where things really just started to shift. Looking at the graph, you know, there was upwards of over 10,000 net worth lead for IG, and then that fight happened, and it just started to go downhill from there. So across the board, things just started kicking in. Sakata on the OD, I think, is most noticeably what really changed. He started to get some big farm. The Blink Dagger really helped for his initiation and positioning in fights. And able to deal with this level 25 Ember Spirit, despite it being so scary and so strong. So they're going to try to go for a final push right here. Batrider gets caught initially, though. He was the one trying to do the catching. Unfortunately, he gets caught. 90 seconds now. He's going to be dead for it. And Dark backed out. That would have been fun.
I've seen that play done before actually. People they knock obviously one or two heroes away from the Underlord, and then obviously he sort of ports away but leaves 2 or 3 heroes behind, and then the rest of the team's able to kill him. But yeah, just Batrider death is okay for Vitality. It could have been a lot worse, but at the same time though, that obviously delays the push by another minute or so. And perhaps maybe IG can kind of try and take some kind of advantage, but with Roche being dead and lanes being pushed in quite heavily, they can't really take an advantage from that kill on the Batrider.
No, they have to focus instead on pushing out their lanes, of course. And that's just what simply happens when you're down 2 sets of racks and just behind in general in the game. So gonna strive to still make some plays here. Abyssal Blade in the works for Lifestealer. Follow up that Basher, of course. You see them moving meanwhile, and gonna try to take out a Sanctuary right here. Shrine. You want to label it as, but I don't know if really if iG.V is too concerned. It's gonna push up the top here. Bots in the works for Sven. Meanwhile, it's another. Didn't he get Satanic? Where is the Satanic?
Yeah.
I could have sworn he purchased Satanic. I mean, he had over 6,000 gold.
I think he did have it queued up. I don't know if he bought it though, but he's got 5k right now. So yeah, I got Moonshard.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go.
Of course.
That makes sense.
It's only might as well buy Moonshard when there's no point like trying to replace an item when there's still things to get. But he'll probably get Satanic though and drop his Echo Saber because that is very important.
Trying to get the bots here, and yeah, he does have that lined up now. Going the Satanic once again, so if even necessary, this could be a final push right here, depending how the fight plays out. Aegis, of course, on to OD.
Yeah. Problem is that both teams are so bad at sieging high ground. Like OD is terrible because obviously you can't use Arcane Orb, and obviously Sven's pretty bad because you don't want to use God Strength on a tower. So it's kind of both are hard to siege high ground, and with Kotl as well spamming out, it's very difficult to sort of siege high ground.
Yeah.
On the side of IG Vitality.
Ember Spirit doing his thing, so yeah, not the easiest, but again, with that Aegis on OD, it's been a little more comfortable going uphill, and get the Lotus Orb right here. Eventually blink away. I guess, but they're fine. Again, if you're Vitality, it's the other lanes are naturally doing their job, so
yeah.
You'll kind of refresh for feet.
The one play that you can do though is that you smoke up and then you go through mid and then wrap round, because obviously mid is completely open, obviously, so you can smoke through mid and then try and catch someone while they're in their base. But looks like IG Vitality are just going to try and push out lanes slowly instead.
Works their way to the middle lane. Not going to go forward though. Are they? It's almost like they were regrouping for maybe a smoke play, but nope. Just Sven going to clean up in the jungle meanwhile, and perhaps trying to finish. I mean, he definitely has enough for bots here at least if he wants to just get those. But
well, there is a smoke up though from IG.
They're going to make a play themselves or try to. Slowly creeping out.
Aegis is down as well.
All right, now the time, I guess, in the background. There's a jump from Slaughter, but no, they get caught first. The BKBs go up. Slaughter goes down, and Burning gonna fall again. No buyback. That could very likely do it. Down goes Ember. He has a buyback, but really, is it gonna really work? Slaughter buys back. Where's the Sark back going? Okay, they just go right to mid.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And they're not sure what to do. They're kind of just running around.
I think they're scared that Lifesteal has buyback, and they wanted all 5 of them before they start pushing in, but they have all 5 now.
There's those steering chains, but yeah, as we see, Lifestealer staying dead, and I think by now they probably realize that. He would have probably bought back by now, so gonna feel a little more confident pushing in and gonna go for the Mega Creeps to truly finish off what would be game number 3 and our final game of the night right here, but definitely...
They should fight though. Sven has no god strength, so they should try and fight. There's no point giving up racks. They should go right now.
Go. Gotta try something or else this is gonna happen. There's the lasso. Catches her spirit. He's dead.
Oh,
Caught back.
So cowardly play, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't know. Because now they just lost, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those cases. It's like you really just have to remind yourself that you gotta go, because yeah, the game's over if you don't.
Yeah.
And so
but
it
it's
really
not like even if they went, it would have been suicide. Like, yes, they're fighting 45, but god strength is not up in Sven, so I think that's definitely an opportunity to play and to fight. But instead, they give up their racks, and now they're fighting against Mega Creeps. Yes, Lifestealer is up, so their base is gone. I think that was a very serious misplay actually from IG. Like, yes, they might have died and stuff, but they could have also defended their racks and could have also perhaps wiped Sven have god strength. And then if they have 1 racks up, then there's definitely an opportunity to win the game. But now with no racks up, it's a lot harder. I mean, they have ways to deal with the Mega Creeps without a doubt. They obviously have their Mjolnir on Ember, they have Kotl as well. But at the same time, I think that was definitely an opportunity to try and perhaps stay in the game. But regardless.
Well, they're going to go the route of we're going to come back from Mega Creeps to send ourselves to Shanghai. That's the plan for IG now. That's all they got, really.
They should definitely stay in it, though, that's for sure. Like, they have ways to clear out. They've got ways to clear out, obviously, like I said, with Kotl and Ember, but...
Yeah, definitely can't be thrown in the towel now. I mean, again, with what is on the line, and this is it, so you might as well play it out. And, you know, I've heard a lot of people say that this patch, too, has definitely made the comeback potential of Mega Creeps a lot more real than in the past, so there is that to lean on. Get level 25s coming out. Lifestealer's not level 25 yet either, though. Yeah, he's still level 23. When it gets there, Lifestealer, though, I guess it's not really the craziest level 25. 15 armor's not bad, but one second rage.
Where's Ember's Remnant right now, actually? He's top.
I don't see any down here, so...
He needs to defend bot anyway. So.
Yeah, he's probably just full defense mode.
They had Kotl to recall him in, actually. I completely forgot about that. So that's fine.
Well, they push out the middle lane, but again, being against Mega Creeps, the other 2 lanes now are just being heavily pushed in, so... They're going to try for a jump. Yeah, try for something right here. Ember Spirit is here. Got recalled.
Comes the smoke.
Oh, they caught. Who's that? That would be your Spirit. Slaughter jumps in and crush on at least 1, but not on a couple others, and Sven's going to follow up. Now he gets locked down initially, but down goes Slaughter, Burning yet again by himself over here. He gets blinding leg, pushed back, something knocked him back. Anyways, GG's being called, and it will actually be official now. Vitality going to Shanghai to play in the $300,000 tournament here. IG will fall just short, unfortunately, but hell of a series. I mean, definitely a great series by both teams.
Fantastic series, and very strong and sort of stoic performance there from ig.Vitality. I mean, I thought they was the stronger team going into it, but they win game 1, and then they lose game 2, and then game 3 looked very much in the favour of Invictus Gaming, but they rallied together and ended up taking the series altogether. So GG to ig.Vitality.
Yeah, no, it's definitely fun to watch, and you know, again, it obviously for IG, you can call it throw, but it's not even real. It's just like I said, the Dota gods coming into play, man, and with that Sven fight, getting those crits.
Like, you could say like they threw, but at the same time they needed to kind of really play around the Sven a lot more. I think like the strength of Lifestealer as a core is that yes, he's very strong and says magic immunity, but he does suffer a lot to high physical burst, which is Sven, is TA, is Jug and stuff, and they didn't play around it effectively. They even picked up the Octarine core on Ember, and I thought that was going to be enough to sort of kite the Sven, but they weren't able to do it. So GG to ig.Vitality. There were some good Bat Rider initiations as well during the latter stages of the game from in July, so that was a big factor coming into it. But ig.Vitality go ahead and beat their mother team or their sister team or whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call it. Again, only one of them, though, is going to be moving on. And, again, it is ig.Vitality making their way to the tournament. So another big congratulations to them. Got to be feeling good. Again, IG a little bit sore, but it is what it is. Only one team allowed to go. So we have our 2 final teams for this tournament. Not only ig.Vitality, but, of course, as we saw earlier, vg.j going to be moving on. And that team especially, vg.j, I know I'm excited for it. I know many others to really see how they continue to perform at a big LAN event like that, at least with this new team now that they are under. So, but that means we're going to be wrapping up on our end here for our Star Series coverage. Want to obviously thank everyone for tuning in to the broadcast here, the China Qualifiers. Minnie, I want to give you the chance. Turning this off right here. Give you the chance to.
I heard that. What was going on?
Yeah, see, they couldn't hear that, but you could probably hear that pretty loud.
Okay, what was that?
That's my alarm to wake up.
Okay,
That's
nice,
my
nice.
usual wake up. Anyways, any shout outs? Anything else you want to say here before we wrap up, man?
Just shout out to yourself, Brady. Shout out to Star Ladder and stuff. Thanks for the opportunity to cast, mate. It was really good fun, and hopefully we can do it again sometime. You follow me on Mini Esports, and that was it really. Thanks for the games. It's good.
Happy to have you on, and glad you could join me. And with that said, guys, want to obviously thank you guys for tuning in as always. Here to the Star Ladder Star Series coverage of our Season 3 Chinese qualifiers. Again, officially wrapping up, and we got our 2 teams going. So I also want to give personally a shout-out to Beyond the Summit for this opportunity. Again, I've been doing my part to try to really grind as a caster in the Dota 2 scene, and joining 3 or 4 months ago now. And I've been having a lot of fun with it, but it's opportunities like this that really give myself a chance to do more and get better personally. So really do appreciate a shout out to Beyond the Summit and, of course, the Star Series in general for hosting such an event and the opportunity for this, especially with these finals. I mean, to cast obviously 4 great teams going at it for such a big prize essentially on the line. Really, really cool feeling. So really do appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And again, you can follow me at twitch.tv/BreakyCBK or Twitter or Facebook or any of that, all that social media. You can check it all out. So hopefully more to come as well. Looking forward to doing plenty more Dota 2 casting myself. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Really do appreciate it. That is going to officially do it for tonight. Again, Vitality takes out IG 2-1 to advance on. They join vg.j going to the LAN. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next time here on the broadcast. Enjoy. I believe the European qualifiers, if I'm not mistaken, are going to be kicking off later today. In fact, here in the near future. So that's something else. In fact, in just over an hour from now, I'm looking, the European qualifiers, Friends versus Team Empire, is going to kick it all off, actually, from what I can tell. So look forward to that. There you go. We got some more coverage in just over an hour here, apparently, with the European qualifiers. So anyways, have a good night, guys. I'll see you next time.